Hi YouTube, in today's video I'm just going to make a quick video whilst I'm thinking about it. Today's video is going to be about how to care for mourning geckos. Now mourning geckos is one of the easiest and one of the most interesting lizards to keep, given that they are parthenogenic. If you don't know what parthenogenic means, it basically means there's no males in the species, only females, because the females can lay fertilised eggs without the need of a male. So that is what's so interesting about these guys. So this is their cage at the moment. Put blue tack here because they're very prone to escaping. This vent is the only air that it gets, but that is more than enough. So yeah, this is its environment. Live plants are suggested. They do much better with them. I'm not going to go ahead and disturb it. I'm not going to go ahead and try and find it. I've disturbed it enough getting it down from the shelf, but... So, today's video, I'm just going to do a quick care video on how to care for these guys. So first I'm going to go through the humidity. These guys are a very humid needing species, so 80 to 90% is good as long as you do have a dry place for it to go to. So humidity is how they drink. There's not really a need for a water bowl, because water bowls can make them a lot more prone to drowning, which is not what we want, obviously. So, yeah, that is it with the humidity. There's not much to it with the humidity, to be honest. I'm going to go to heating and feeding now. So, heating, they can survive at a room temperature, but I do recommend a small heat mat on a thermostat, because you do not want it to get too hot, and then again you don't want it to get too cold. So a heat mat is advised. It will bring the cycle of like laying eggs faster, and it will give the eggs more chance of hatching. So whilst we're talking about eggs now, I'm just going to quickly go through that. Eggs, these guys can lay around 2 eggs every 5 months. Most of the time they're all fertilised. Sometimes they can be not, but most of the time they're fertilised, and they will normally lay them on the side or on a piece of cork bark. Personally, I don't think there's any point in trying to get them off unless they fall off, because they will just break. They're very, very weak. I've hatched some in the past. The one in here is actually a hatchling of mine. I started with 2, and as they're prone to escaping, I lost one. We found it. God knows how it got there, in the fridge. Yes, the fridge, a cold place. Dead. Yes, I know, it's disgusting. But yeah, we had a dead lizard in the fridge. But this one actually decided to stay, and I appreciate that. So there's only one in here at the moment, an adult. And soon some juveniles will be joining her. Probably around 2, because I don't want to get too many in this cage. I've also thought about, I'm going to get another one of these today, which is exciting, and I'm probably going to put the juveniles in there, and leave the female like this, so they all have an equal amount of food. So, yeah, talking about food, let's go on to the food. Now, these guys don't tend to eat large food. The largest I'd go is very, very small locusts when they're full adults, and very, very small to medium small crickets. But most of the time, the easiest thing to feed them is fruit flies. They love fruit flies. But dusted in calcium is advised, because they need the calcium, unless they could get metabolic bone disease. They're not as prone to it as stuff like leopard geckos, but they do need their calcium. Another way to stop metabolic bone disease is to have a UVB light on the top. You can get a canopy light fixture for this exact tank for around £20 to £30. It's not cheap, but I'd go for it for the sake of an animal. So yeah, they also need a little bit of a mixed diet as well. So you can feed them crested gecko Pangea. They do tend to like it with more water, like a more watery substance and a more pasty substance. So they prefer the watery substances. But again, that stuff isn't cheap. The lizards are cheap compared to leopard geckos, which can go... Shut up, dog. Which can go over £100. I got this one for around £15. But the food isn't cheap, and the cages aren't cheap. These can go up to around £40. And including the inside, the setup probably cost me around 60 to 70. So yeah, live plants are advised to pump the oxygen through. So yeah, that's the mixed diet done. And now I'm going to go into like handling and just straight on precautions that you need to have with these guys. These are not a handling lizard. They can be handled like, I don't know, if you need to clean it. I would not clean these cages. Well, I wouldn't stress them out to clean them that much. I'd probably clean these about once every 6 months, sometimes once every year. I just do like a quick wall clean every month, and if there's some mould, I'll get that out, but I won't do a full clean until the end of the year, so I don't stress them out. These guys are very, very prone to losing their tails, so don't be surprised if they do so, but they can live through life with keeping their first tail. This one is around 3 years old and it hasn't dropped its tail, but I would not be surprised if it drops it in the future. Sometimes they just decide to throw their tails even if they're not stressed at all. But normally they will throw them when they're stressed, so don't be surprised. Don't be worried if it throws its tail. It will, I definitely recommend feeding it a little bit more, because the tail is where geckos store all their nutrients and all their fat. So I definitely recommend feeding it a bit more and give it some more calcium and multivitamins on the food. And maybe mix some calcium into the Pangea. Add a little bit more calcium than there is in there. And also, another thing is the food that they get. You can get a pasty supplement for them, ideally for stuff like crickets and locusts, and that can make the live food more nutrients as well. So yeah, and also fruit flies, they do tend to like banana, just a small slice of banana. Oh, the morning gecko's out. So she is awake, she's on her little log. Just there. That's the morning gecko. Very hard to see. But on that stick, there, oh, you can see it moving. There, look. Oh, it's going to get a fruit fly, are you? Or not? So it's wagging its tail, having a nice time. That's the female inside here. So yeah. On that note, I think I'm going to end this video now. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell if you want to see some more videos like this. And of course, I will make those videos because I don't get a lot of comment, because I'm not the biggest YouTube channel out there. But I will give you the most detailed information and the most accurate information, specific. I've done specific care guides for certain mantis species. I won't just do it in general. So put a comment down there, anything you want to know, and I will be, 99% sure I will make a video on it. So go down there, comment if you want to get that information. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.